Well, let's now bring in Professor Sampson Mamphweli, Head of the Energy Secretariat at the South African National Energy Development Institute. Prof, thank you so much for your time. So what are the implications here of this debt stalemate between Eskom and the city of Johannesburg, particularly to residents and of course, businesses of the city, especially at a time when most people will be home during the December holidays and, of course, businesses open to make those sales?
Yeah, good afternoon to you and the viewers. It's rather unfortunate, and this is something that has been going on for quite some time. I remember at some point Eskom approaching the courts. At some point, the city was saying that they needed someone to basically mitigate or come between Eskom and them and try to resolve the situation. Now, it will be very sad if Eskom goes to an extent of cutting the power. But if you look at the options, Eskom does not have a lot of options apart from going to court or coming, or cutting the power itself. And the unfortunate part is that the residents are paying. It's the municipalities, and it's not only the city of Johannesburg, it's the municipalities that are owing Eskom more than 80 billion rand. And they collect the revenue and then they repurpose that money for other services instead of paying back to Eskom for the electricity that they basically get from Eskom. So that's the unfortunate part. The businesses will suffer heavily. The residents will suffer heavily, and it's not of their doing.
And you are right in terms of just looking at it from a national perspective. Municipal debt remains just one of Eskom's biggest challenges. As of the end of March 2024, we understand municipal arrears stood at around 74.4 billion rand. Now, as you also rightfully put it, that amount has gone up around about 80 to 90 billion rand. Where has the Eskom municipal debt relief by Treasury gone wrong here? I mean, if we look at what they had said, even in as far as talking about relieving some of that debt from municipalities.
Yeah, so the relief has been taking place. I remember at some point there was a relief from National Treasury where they said, well, we will pay your debt, but you from now onwards, you shouldn't, from the time that we pay your debt, you shouldn't default on the Eskom account. And most municipalities applied for that debt relief program. Some of them were placed in that program. Some of them benefited from the program, but they continue to default on the payments. So that is also proving not to be working. Because when the municipal debt relief program came on board, the municipalities were owing a lot more than what they are owing at the moment. And some of it was cleared, and then some of them went back to owing municipalities. I am aware of the current efforts by the Minister of Electricity, Energy and Electricity, who's trying to look into various financing models together with his deputy on how the municipalities can be assisted so that they don't end up in this debt spiral on Eskom again going forward once this debt relief program kicks in and assists them as well.
Now, when we go back to, just the Eskom and the city of Johannesburg matter, there is a lot of toing and froing there. And it speaks largely to just the billing system. I mean, when you look at the billing system in the city of Johannesburg to residents and businesses, that's been highly disputed for many years. And now it seems like that's also what is happening between Eskom and some municipalities. What can we read into this? I mean, is it a question of lack of leadership?
Yeah, so the billing system at household level and business level, especially for people who are using the old meter system that where you still go and read the meter, that can always be disputed. The billing system that is quite good is the one for the new meters, the smart meters that are being rolled out by various municipalities and Eskom, as well as the prepaid meters that are being rolled out by Eskom and the municipalities. With those, you can't have disputes. What I can say also on the municipality versus Eskom billing system, Eskom keeps a very good billing system. So, and I know, municipalities won't like what I'm saying, but the truth of the matter is that Eskom has got very advanced systems that they use to do their billing as well. Eskom can see who is using what where. They can even see, when the solar energy, when the people with solar energy are getting a lot of solar radiation through their system, so they can see down to household level, except for those behind the meter kind of a thing, obviously. So in terms of billing, yes, there are disputes from municipalities, including the city of Johannesburg. But my view is that those disputes cannot be substantiated.
And you touched a little bit on it, Prof, in terms of the implications of municipalities consistently not paying Eskom. What does that then do also to its own, problems with its high debt, essentially, and not being able to function operationally?
Yeah, so that becomes a negative side of things, because Eskom needs this money to service their power generation, transmission and distribution systems. And if they don't get this money back, then they have to recover it elsewhere. And recovering it elsewhere means it's either government must give them money, which is partly what government has done by giving them the 256 billion rand to service their debt, or they must recover it from the tariffs. What happens then is that when Eskom does their own calculations on the tariff structures and recovery of the money through the tariffs, they then include this debt, which then means that the municipalities that are not paying Eskom affect other municipalities. They affect the entire nation when it comes to the price of electricity, because Eskom then does when they do these calculations, they then put the debt of the cost of generation. They put that debt as part of the cost of electricity generation. That needs to be recovered as well.
All right, Prof, let's leave it there for now. But thank you so much for your analysis and your time right here on the show. Professor Sampson Mamphweli, Head of the Energy Secretariat at the South African National Energy Development Institute, there for us. Of course, Eskom saying that the city of Johannesburg owes it over 5 billion rand for electricity.